Hey there, cats and kittens. It's time for another edition of the Dallas Bias Club. I'm your host, Jordan Amati, and joining me, my man, Patrick Gallagher behind the scenes.
What?
Actually, we're going to call him Patrick in the ball pit.
Yes.
Shout out to Patrick over here looking like he's Patrick Stewart today, Sir Patrick Stewart today. So that's what we're rolling with. So here we go. All right, Patrick. Well, it's been a while since you've been on the show with me. We haven't done a show together since probably before since I took it to the casa, right?
To the crib.
Yeah, I had to take it to the crib for some health concerns. You know what I'm saying? It was just a lot easier to do it from the house, but you were dearly missed the entire time. But it's probably been about a year since we've been on the air together, but
I think it's about right.
We work together. We see each other all the time. So
For sure.
Yeah. So we got that camaraderie.
Most definitely.
Okay. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the Cowboys from last week. It's been a while since we've seen them. This is going to be like the longest period that we've gone without Cowboys football outside of a bye week, it feels.
Yeah.
And they did disappoint a little bit last week with the 44-30 loss to the Detroit Lions in Detroit. But Cowboys show you that they're a different team on the road than they are at home. So that could have been
Definitely
expected. But as far as that last week's game, what was your biggest takeaway from the game, Patrick?
Oh, Dak, I think, looked great.
Yeah.
I think that was my biggest takeaway is that, I think it was 2 interceptions, but one of them was very clearly not his fault.
Yeah.
I think he played a great game, and I don't think he really should his quarterback, he's going to shoulder the loss.
Yeah.
I don't think he should, though.
But it's one of those things, and we'll talk about Shedeur Sanders a little bit later, but it's one of those reasons why people root for Dak and why people don't necessarily root for Shedeur. And I don't necessarily think it's because he's a Nepo baby. It's
Sure.
because in certain times, whenever it's time to reap the benefits or claim the glory, he's a I, me guy.
Oh, yeah.
And whenever things go bad, that's whenever he's a they, them guy, and that's just, it's one of those things. It's just hard. It just from the outside looking in, it's hard to believe that guy can lead a room with that type of attitude, because people look at it as like, could I be led by that person?
Right. Yeah.
Like in a person,
would I like this?
And, now if you're extremely talented, hell yeah, you can do whatever you want, man.
Sure.
Act crazy. It's a little bit different with quarterbacks, and I feel like with Shedeur, he's Deion's son, so you got a lot of that with him, and you don't have any of that with Dak. Different upbringing,
not at all.
Completely different upbringing. But as far as the Cowboys, though, like last week, I do think that the biggest problem, I really think that we could have won the game if CD didn't leave with the concussion.
I do too.
And I really think that it was with CD leaving with the concussion. I think that's really why George Pickens is being picked on so much this last week, because we saw how you looked the last 2 weeks when CD was the decoy. But now that CD's out for the game, this is when we need you to show up. This is when we need you to catch every ball.
For sure.
And I think the fact that the Lions were very beat up as far as their secondary went, I don't think they had a single cornerback out there that was taller than 5'10".
Oh, man.
Yeah, so you have that physical advantage, but it could be one of those things with Pickens. I don't know if you remember back in the day when Dirk used to play for the Mavericks. When Sean Marion was a Phoenix Sun, he used to give him fits as a defender because as a small guy, he kind of takes you out of your game because he's a small, quicker, athletic guy. So I think a lot of people are picking on Pickens as far as his effort, but it could be a matchup problem because maybe small, strong guys just jam him up a lot better and he can't get the same type of release as he gets. But, big-time players need to step up in big-time games. So I believe that's where the criticism is fair. But I think that the lack of effort, though, I'd have to see if it happens this week.
I think a lot of it, too, personally, like you said, CD was the decoy for a couple weeks. I think Pickens was the decoy last week.
Yeah. Well, the targets never changed. He went to 9. Now,
Did he really?
it actually looked like they were all decoys for Ryan Flournoy.
Dude, I was going to say Flournoy stepped up.
Yeah, in year 2, he's looking amazing. And now my thing is, for all you CD, Lamb, Pickens lovers who love this combination, I will say don't get used to it. And I just think, and it's really just because if you're going to pay him that type of money, you want that consistent effort.
Sure.
And I'm not saying that, and I'm saying it could have been a matchup thing, but you can still fight through these things. And I would just say more just because how much money we're spending on the offense is the reason why I wouldn't bring back Pickens. Because I would have said this after his back-to-back games where he looked like the best receiver in the NFL.
Sure.
It's just if you want to bring him back, are you willing to trade CD? I just think that something has to give, especially if you just signed Jake Ferguson, if we still have Terrence Steele's contract. There's a lot of things, and I think that as great as Pickens has been this year, we have one of the strongest wide receiver drafts in recent memory coming up here, and we have 2 first-round picks. So I think as good as Pickens has been, I think we could, if you franchise him with the plan on trading him to get some type of compensation. But his effort's so questionable, you just don't know what his value will be. So we're going to have to see how this season finishes out for him. Hopefully he has a big bounce-back game and keeps that stock up.
That'd be great.
But we need it, and we need every single victory moving forward.
Have they said what CD, where he is?
As far as concussion protocol, I haven't heard, but I think that he's out there, but I don't know that he's done any contact. But it'll be a game time decision. I would just assume it being a long week, being a 10-day week,
he has the time.
Then he has the time to where he would be able to pass concussion protocol.
Good,
and it's a late night Sunday night game.
Oh yeah, so, even better.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit.
For sure.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about the state of the NFC East right now. After the Cowboys lost to the Lions, you could think that things would get no worse. or no better. It looked like it was all over for us as Cowboys fans. And then you see Jalen Hurts with this 5 turnover game, two turnovers on one play.
Looking terrible. 2
turnovers on one play. That's I've never seen anything like that before. That was very.
Is that a record?
Yeah, that was. It's happened before. It's been I think over 30 years since it's happened.
Wow.
But it has happened before. Two turnovers on one play. Yeah, that's not a record that anybody wants to have.
Nope.
But as far as the Eagles go, it's looking like 2023 again for them, to where they're going to backslide to where we can get into the playoffs. It just seems like, I don't know, it just seems we can win every game, but it doesn't look like their schedule's that tough moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, our schedule's not that tough either, but I agree with you. I hate being in the position where we need the help to get there. I like the idea of us being the front runner, not to catch up.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. And I mean, they did do us a favor and lose, and it's still a possibility. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, and they lost to the Chargers, who we'll be facing here very shortly. The thing with the Eagles is they have the Commanders twice this year, and after Jaden Daniels, the way he's been getting knocked around this year, their season's kind of done. They might look to just shut him down. Yeah. Now, I know that the competitor in him wants to play, and he's going to want to play regardless. So it's going to have to be on ownership, on the GM, on the coaching staff if they want to make that move.
Yeah.
But I just think that their schedule, just with those 2 games coming up, I think those are just 2 layups, and we kind of need them to lose every game moving forward.
Yeah, and I mean, and like you said, if Jaden Daniels doesn't play, I don't see a way that they do it.
So pretty much they're 8-5 and we're 6-1. So for us to have a chance, we have to go undefeated throughout, and they're going to have to lose at least 2 games.
Yeah,
they're going to have to lose 2 games.
One of those Commanders games has to be.
Well, they do play the Bills, so that's good news for us. Yeah. But they also play the Raiders this week, so that's not too good news.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. But it's football. Maybe Ashton Genty could have that breakout game. Maybe the offensive line decides to not let him get hit until he touches the line of scrimmage, and that yards after contact can turn into something.
He is definitely a dude that I have followed this year because of this show and you dropping the knowledge last year when he was in college, and just how good he really is.
Oh, yeah. He was, he's a local kid, Frisco Lone Star. I always look out for the young kids doing things in high school. Pause. Super pause.
Can we mark that?
Yeah. Ashton Genty's been impressive since day one at Boise State, and it was just amazing to see that run that he went on, and hopefully he can ruin the Eagles season for us.
That'd be great.
We need that.
Help the Cowboys, local boy.
Help us. We need it. We need all the help we can get.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as far as this game on Sunday Night Football, before we get into any type of preview of sorts, this game, the NFL has the option to flex these games towards the end of the season.
Right.
And this game was not flexed. And it's are they a 4-win team or a 5-win team as far as the Vikings go now? But I know that they're not good.
Yeah, they're not good. Whatever it is, it's not good.
They're not good. All right, they're not good. They're below 500. And now I get it. The schedule is what it is. And going into the season, who would have thought that the Vikings would be this bad after last year? And, and everybody thought that the Cowboys would probably be second place in division, but they just thought we'd be a lot better. They thought that the Commanders would be a lot better. They thought that the Eagles would be a lot better. So, have we been beating each other up? No, the rest of the league's just been beating us up. But
the Giants are who we thought.
The Giants are exactly who we thought they were. The Giants are who we thought they were. But this Minnesota team, J.J. McCarthy, I guess everybody can pretty much say he's been a big disappointment.
Yeah,
and to me, he's one of those guys that I just didn't really expect that much from coming out, just because he didn't throw the ball a lot at Michigan. So he's going to take more time to develop. And I really thought that the best thing they could have done was probably hold on to Kirk Cousins and let him develop. Yeah, But I do think that where they drafted him was a lot higher than you would like to have two quarterbacks making that much money on one team. Yeah. And I think that's what the situation they were in. But again, saying that, he did go to Atlanta and they ended up picking up Michael Penix, who makes even more money than, and I'm pretty sure that Kirk Cousins, like, if I knew I was going to be in this situation, I'd rather be in this situation in Minnesota. Right. Especially with J.J. McCarthy's injury issue that he had last year. But that's the way football go.
I've thought to myself multiple times over the last year or two that they have those things called master classes that you can sign up for to take like online. Yeah. Kirk Cousins needs to give a master class on being the bag man, because that dude has made more money. I'm not saying he's not he's fine,
yeah. But it's just one of those things. It's because people complain about the franchise tag, and he just sat there and took it because you can only franchise me this many times. And guess what? It's like it'll add up to where you'll eventually get that big deal that you want, and it might not even. And now you know about this ownership and how they treat you. And now you can go shop around elsewhere. Sure. That's exactly what Kirk Cousins did. He had ownership that wanted RG3, the coaching staff that wanted him, and it ended up playing out in his favor. And then he parlayed it into back-to-back franchise tags, and then ended up getting his big payday in Minnesota. And it worked out for him. But as far as working out for Minnesota right now, they just really haven't looked that good. As great as Justin Jefferson is, it's he's what. Who I want to say that he has less receiving yards than CD and George Pickens.
That's probably accurate.
And he hasn't really missed any games. And it really has more to do with the quarterback play. And as bad as McCarthy is, I don't think that they want Max Brosmer in there. But I like him. I'd like to see him. Max Brosmer. But I'd like to see him in there this Sunday. That means that either JJ McCarthy is struggling or he's hurt.
He'll be struggling. Don't worry.
He'll stay. Well, our secondary has shown.
Yeah, that's true too.
It's what we consider a slump buster.
We'll make stars out of these guys.
Because they say Caleb Williams is the 30. Well, I want to say that J.J. McCarthy is the least accurate quarterback in football, and next to him is Caleb Williams, and he looked pretty accurate against us.
I was gonna say he looked great.
Now our secondary is completely different now. I think we're a lot healthier. And also just the presence of Quinnen Williams, the presence of Demarion Overshown. Yeah. Siobhan Ravel, he's kind of struggled a little bit as a rookie should, because a guy hasn't had any training camp, and he played at East Carolina last time he played football.
For sure.
That's a big jump to the NFL, especially with no training camp. And during all this time, like all these short weeks to play these games, like that is baptism by fire if I've ever seen it for a player. And the same thing goes for Overshown. That's how you have to come back.
This seems like it's been a very odd season in terms of, let's call it maybe the first week in November till now, in terms of like Monday night games, Sunday night games, Thursday night games. It's like that. We haven't had a regular game, it feels like, in a while.
Yeah, we haven't. But we are the Cowboys, and it just seems like usually they're just more spread out.
Yeah, exactly.
But now it's almost like here in a 6-week span, this is where all your primetime games are. Yeah. And I do think that the Cowboys have a very strong chance to win this game. I think they have to. It's a must win. Yeah. Especially them playing here. Last time we played them, we dropped 40 on them, and that was a while back. Different team. I want to say that was still with Dalvin Cook, and we've seen what happened. It's so long ago that Dalvin Cook was good.
That's when you still wanted
was effective.
Him.
That's when you wanted Dalvin Cook, and we were able to stop them back then. So I think that it'll be easy work this week. I think we're 6-point favorites, and nice. I don't see any reason why they shouldn't cover. The only thing that I would be concerned about is maybe the Lions found something out about our run defense that we didn't know.
Right.
But I will last week it was nice to see a lot more Logan Wilson at linebacker because it seems like they're kind of trying to fade Kenneth Murray out.
Right.
But it's just that Kenneth Murray, the thing is, he's 6'3", 6'2", 6'3", 240. He runs a 4.5. Like he does, like he looks the part.
The metrics
are all there. And the college tape was there. But to me, he's Damone Clark. There's no difference. There's no difference. And if he's not Damone Clark, then Damone Clark is somewhere between Luke Wilson and I'm sorry. Logan Wilson. I'm sorry. Logan Wilson. I'm thinking about Owen Wilson, Zoolander style. The Wilson brothers.
Hit him with that blue Terrence Steele.
Yeah. Nah, no Terrence Steele
over here.
No Terrence Steele over here. But yeah, it's just Kenneth Murray is a guy who I never wanted on this team. Like, I just think that we've seen enough of him in the NFL to where we know what he is. He's a guy that he looks the part, but it doesn't matter if you're 0.1 seconds faster than anybody that plays a position if you think half a second slower.
Right.
Or if you react. It's like false steps will kill you at safety and linebacker. And he's either going to take the wrong step forward or wrong step back. And it seems like I thought that maybe we found something with him whenever we got Quinnen Williams. It's like, oh, maybe if you just have elite players in front of a linebacker like that, that'll create some lanes and make things a lot easier. And it was easier, but now it's just kind of, he's come back to the same guy that we've been seeing. And I want to say on PFF, the guy's PFF rating is under 40. And this is like school, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's like, did you make a 40 on your test? Would you show it to your parents? No. Dog. You try to retake that. Ain't no retakes. Ain't no redos.
Desperate.
No. But yeah, I do think the Cowboys will cover. They need to. They're desperate. They have to win every game moving forward. And I think it'll start with this win against the Vikings, hopefully.
Well, I sure hope so.
Yeah.
I at least want, because the other part is if we don't win, now kind of the rest of the season, I'm like, man.
Well, I'll be watching college football, so I'll be making my draft boards. The show will still be interesting, y'all.
Right.
I'll break it down and let y'all know exactly what the Cowboys need to draft next year. You already heard me say this is a deep wide receiver draft, and we all know we need a linebacker.
Yeah.
And to me, there's been so many years where we haven't drafted a linebacker in the first round. Guess what's there in the first round? The best linebacker in the draft. You can just be that team to go draft the best linebacker in the draft and just make sure everything's all good.
Do it.
So Cowboys fans, whenever the playoffs start up, I'll give y'all a list of players to watch. Go ahead and sign them up because there are a couple good linebackers to look out for.
Nice.
All right. Well, I guess are we done talking Cowboys?
Yeah. I mean,
all right. Let's go around the league. We'll keep it lightweight, local. We're gonna talk Shedeur. We started off talking a little bit about Shedeur Sanders earlier in the show, and Shedeur Sanders had a pretty impressive performance this weekend. They did end up losing the game. It was a close one, but Shedeur was impressive. He was I want to say he was 23 of 42 passing, threw for 360.
That was his first 300-yard game.
First 300-yard game of his career. But he looked poised. He looked impressive. It just seems that at the end of the day, they just weren't able to pull it out. And you would hope that you would be able to beat the Titans,
right?
Because this is y'all battling for top picks in the draft.
Historically bad.
Yeah. And I know that the big question has been about since this 364-yard game, 3-touchdown performance. Like, is that enough for Shedeur to lock up the Browns starting quarterback job for next year?
I have a hard time deciding that because, like, I went and looked at his overall stat lines this year. I mean, he's not bad by any stretch. I think personally, if I'm that GM, that's a training camp deal. I'm like, let him fight for the job. Because how many quarterbacks they still have on their roster?
I think they even came out and made word that they plan on Deshaun Watson to be on the team next season.
Bro.
But maybe they're just doing like, please somebody trade for him. Okay. Because we're not going to cut him.
I will say now.
Yeah.
I definitely think he should start over Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
At this point, for sure.
Well, it's just you got to think about the amount of money they have tied up in the quarterback position with Deshaun Watson just existing.
Fully guaranteed.
Fully guaranteed. And my thing is with Shedeur, if he wants to hold on to that starting job, you got to win games. You got to make it. You got to make it hard for them to be able to trade up to just acquire the number one pick. Because the better you play, the worse your first round draft pick is. And the least likely they are to move that. Now, they will have 2 first-round picks because of last year's trade. But, it's really if you just keep winning, if you win games. Let me not say keep winning because we haven't really seen that yet.
Right.
From him. But he's looked good. He's looked impressive. He looks like he belongs in the NFL.
Yes.
And that's all that's saying a lot for a rookie. Because you can't say that Cam Ward necessarily looks like he belongs on a week-to-week basis.
I don't know where that dude belongs, but it's not on a field.
And I've always said that about Cam Ward. The thing that scared me the most about him, it's like the big-time throws are there, but I see this guy, a clean pocket, hold the ball like this, look both ways, throw it across his body 60 yards to a guy on the other team. I seen him do it like 4 times last year at Miami. And I love Miami, and I love Cam Ward, but I'm just like, I need you to sit the bench for a whole year.
Just for a while.
Whole year. I want you to be mad, and I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to tell you why every game, because you be throwing them dumbass picks. That's why you on the bench. It's like whenever I can see that you ain't throwing these dumbass picks, like, who knows what Patrick Mahomes would have been if we had to watch him struggle as a rookie.
For sure.
Coming from Texas Tech, all the crazy throws that he would make, Brett Favre-esque.
Yeah.
Like off all the off-platform stuff. But he had the chance to watch Alex Smith for a year. Then he came in and lit the league up.
Well, and you and I have talked, forever about the fact that you sit them for a year, 2 years, 3 years even. Let them, and once they start playing, and this is something I've learned to live by watching them, you always say, third year. That's really where you're going to figure out who that dude really is, what he's capable of. Shedeur's got, I want to say it's like 5 touchdowns to like 2 or 3 interceptions, which I feel like, that's serviceable.
Yeah.
And again, get him some receivers, get him a tight end he loves.
Hey, Harold Fannon's doing his thing. Bowling Green State, represent.
But like give him some time to go.
Yeah, he's got Njoku, he's got Fannin, so it's really you just need more weapons. I think that the run game with Quinshad Junkins and with Dylan Sampson, I think moving forward that could be a dynamic duo.
Yeah.
With the speed of Sampson and the physicality of Judkins.
I love Judkins. Yeah,
Judkins, he earned my respect during last year's college football playoffs. I'll say that he didn't necessarily have it before.
Fair enough.
I liked him a lot when he was at Ole Miss, and then he kind of regressed. So then whenever during the championship run, that was whenever I was like, okay, all right, this guy, he's got it. He is what everybody says he is.
Right.
Yeah. So let's see. So Shedeur, I like what I see, but another thing that could play into his favor is a lot of these young guys, like they're saying that the quarterback from Oregon, Dante Moore, they're saying that he's a redshirt sophomore, and they're saying he's leaning towards coming back because Oregon didn't exactly have the best year this year,
right?
Losing 1 game,
right?
Because they lost Indiana, and now guess what? Indiana beat Ohio State. Everybody loses to Indiana. That's what it seems like. And we'll definitely talk about that next week.
They've been,
I've always had Kirk Signetti's always had my respect.
The coach?
Coach Google me.
The coach Google me, yeah.
Yeah, he's always had my respect. But
that stuff's great.
But as far as you have to Shedeur just play so well that they can't trade up to the number 1 pick and get Fernando Mendoza. But the thing is with the Titans, they're going to have the number 1 pick, and they don't even need a quarterback.
Right.
So this is like maybe they just let them win the game because it doesn't matter because they've already discussed that they're going to be trading for the number 1 pick anyway. So maybe Shedeur is screwed no matter what.
Well, and the other part, I tend to forget it, but it's like we got 3-4 more games left. Like, show out, buddy.
Yeah, he has time.
You still have plenty of time to absolutely lock it down.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's enough about Shedeur. I guess that's enough about football in the DFW. And we'll go talk about what's going on around the NFL. A lot of big games this weekend, big-time quarterback matchups. And to me, it's just in time because college football season just ended for me.
Right.
So now it's good football now. To me, I'm just a guy who loves college football more than NFL.
Sure.
And I just feel like the reason why is because with the NFL, I feel like you have so many talented players on your roster. You don't want to get too exotic with your offense because you can lose a game by trying to be too much of an offensive genius.
Too tricky.
Yeah. And so I get it. It's like, but I love Andy Reid, and there's a lot more Andy Reids in college football than there are in the NFL.
Yeah, for sure.
And so it's fun for me to watch these upsets, watch these, because there was a point in time where they said that the spread was only for college and it would never work in the NFL. And now every team in the NFL
everybody runs it.
Ben Roethlisberger should have been the number 1 pick over Eli Manning, but they said he shouldn't because he played in the spread offense. They both won.
Whack.
But Eli barely Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Eli had a lot of help.
Yeah, but let's talk about some current greats. Too early to say Hall of Fame, but Josh Allen and Drake May playing this weekend. That's a big game. I'm looking forward to it. Do you have a favorite of these two?
Personally,
yeah,
I like Drake May.
Yeah.
He's my fantasy quarterback. He has bailed me out several times this season. The dude looks poised. I like Drake May.
Yeah.
I think that in the absence of Brady and Belichick, that's the next step for the Patriots franchise.
And he got that red shirt year last year. He wasn't forced to play. You know, he got to watch people play football. And I think with a lot of these quarterbacks, especially the guys that have a lot of big time throws in college, that means that they think they can make every throw because they could, so they need a year, especially these big arm quarterbacks. I think most of those guys are the ones that really need to sit. Like if you're a guy that's like has a good arm, but you're super accurate, maybe, and you're a 5-year guy, you probably don't need to sit. Right. But if you're a guy who's going to force everything in there, you're going to have to learn the hard way. And I'd rather you learn in practice than learn whenever W's and L's are concerned.
For sure.
Yeah. But, I'm a big Drake May fan. Been a Drake May fan since his early North Carolina days. I was actually a fan of his brother's because his brother was a basketball player at North Carolina. I want to say that he was in the NCAA tournament during March Madness. He was like a region MVP. And so his brother was pretty good. So he comes from a basketball family. And I think that he was actually a highly recruited basketball player in his own right. And then opted to play football because I think his dad was actually a quarterback at North Carolina in the 80s. Offensive player, quarterback, lineman. I can't necessarily remember.
Right.
He played ball.
Yeah.
And they're a North Carolina family. Yeah. But Drake May, big fan. I cannot say the same about Josh Allen. Now I'm a fan of he's a 6'5", 235-pound strong arm quarterback that's mobile. To me, he's Cam Newton. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
But to me, I like guys, I like passers. I don't like throwers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know the difference.
Like, I want somebody, and to me, whenever you're that big, strong, fast, and physical, like, if you can still do this at the NFL level, when did you ever have the chance to work on not being Superman? Sure. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're running dudes down.
Yeah.
Why would you ever not do that?
And so I do like him. I like his style of play, not liking it to Cam Newton, but at the end of the day, I like passers. And if I had to pick a guy in this game, I'm definitely just going to have to go with Drake May. That's my boy. That's my boy, North Carolina. New England is a 1.5-point dog in this game.
Where is it?
The game's going to be at New England. They did beat them earlier this year, so I think that Buffalo could have revenge on their mind. But I think New England's a better team than they were when they beat Buffalo earlier.
I'd love to see them win.
Yeah, I would. To me, I had some Patriot exhaustion. I was sick of it, but it's a changing of the guard, so it's a little bit different. I'm a Vrabel fan. I'm a Drake May fan. I'm a Travion Henderson fan.
There's a lot of things to like.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to like going on over there, and and a lot of us here in DFW, we wanted Vrabel to be our coach.
Yeah,
that's the guy that we wanted. But I'm still a fan of Shoddy. I like the way that the team follows him. He leads them. I love the pre-snap motion. Game management needs some work. But it's first year on the job.
That's been the Cowboys' MO for.
And honestly, you can watch every game in the NFL, and you can say the same thing about one of the two coaches that you're watching on Sunday.
You're not wrong, man.
So I don't know, and I think it's maybe just because the game's gotten so technologically advanced that you have to worry about so many factors.
Sure.
It's almost like they just need to hire a guy to worry about that. Y'all got so many goddamn coaches. Go ahead. Sorry, Mom. I didn't mean to say that. But
you know what I mean.
You know what I mean. Y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. But who do you like in this game, Patrick?
At 1.5 dog?
Yeah.
New England.
Yeah. Sorry.
I think it's going to be close.
Yeah. Sorry. No revenge for Josh Allen this week. It's not happening.
I sure hope not.
Yeah. Not according to me and Patrick, because we both have Drake May start fantasy football.
So we need this.
I need it. All right. I cut Baker Mayfield.
I made decisions.
Yes. But, I had to do it. All right. Well, another interesting game on the plate this weekend. This is another noon game. And see, this is what we're talking about. Wait, let's just pause. So we were talking about why are the Cowboys playing Sunday night? We're about to name 5 premier games.
Yeah.
That we're going to have to, okay, We're going to have Buffalo, New England. We're going to have the Chargers and Chiefs, and we're going to have Baltimore and Cincinnati all at the same time on Sunday. At the same time on Sunday.
I think personally I would have rather had Buffalo, New England, or Baltimore, Cincinnati.
Yeah, even Baltimore, Cincinnati, at least it's Baltimore, Cincinnati.
Because Burrow's back.
Burrow's back, and they need to win every game, and he's the type of guy who could win every game moving forward. And, and the one thing they could say is what's tonight's game? Atlanta, Tampa Bay? That needs to be out of there too, but you can't flex the Thursday game.
Right.
And so if you was going to flex on somebody, you'd get that game the hell out of there, because I want to say Atlanta's, 4-9? They have no chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like So I get it, but maybe we need to stop having, I don't know. Maybe they should make a schedule halfway through the season. Schedule the week. And to be determined after week 9.
I love that idea, honestly, because there are so many Thursday games
that are terrible.
Terrible games on Thursday. And that's been not just this season. That's been as long as they've had Thursday games.
And I get it for ticket buying purposes and whatever,
right.
But at the end of the day, it's most people don't ever get to go to all their games. They'll sell the ticket. They'll figure out a way to get their money back. Don't worry about them.
Sell flex tickets.
Yeah. Sell flex.
Let people know ahead of time, hey, this may change.
Yeah. And to me, it's just because it's no different than the playoffs.
Yeah.
Playoffs.
We're talking about playoffs.
Talking about playoffs. But yeah, I do think that they need to do something about the scheduling, because as much as the Cowboys don't deserve to be on Sunday night, Atlanta and Tampa Bay don't deserve to be on Thursday night either.
No.
Especially with all these great games, the schedule of games that we're seeing this weekend. So, boo you, NFL. Well, not boo you, but figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure it out. We shouldn't have to suffer through this. We are fans. It's we are fans. Wouldn't you want your most popular games to be on at these primetime moments?
Entertain me.
Yes. I'm here to be entertained. But I do believe that Thursday night, we'll see what the ratings are. But if y'all don't watch the game tonight. Don't watch it.
Just
let the ratings suffer so we can see the NFL react and change it. Because if you watch it tonight, you're going to be like, well, I got a guy playing in fantasy.
You're
I got
part of the problem.
playing. You're part of the problem. Just look at your phone and watch the stats. Let them update. Watch a movie.
Yeah.
Watch a movie. Throwback Thursday.
Pop something on.
Yeah. There's some good movies. It's Christmas time. Watch Bad Santa. Watch Bad Santa too. That's where I go when I say Christmas movie.
For sure.
Kiss, kiss, bang, bang.
I'm a National Lampoon's Vacation.
I've already seen it.
Yeah, for sure.
But I know everybody. I mean, this season, but I'll watch it again. It's one of those ones I'm going to watch it right before, probably Christmas Day.
They show it so much you can't avoid it.
Yeah, it's always on. It's always on. All right, I guess we'll get back to football. So we were talking about Drake May, Josh Allen Bowl, and we both want Drake May to win.
Yes.
For not just selfish reasons. I drafted him because I'm a fan of his.
Sure.
And yes, I want Josh Allen to lose. And yes, I don't want the Bills to ever be a dynasty because I want to.
Yes.
And it's not because I want to be proven right about Josh Allen. He's already proven me wrong.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm not one of those guys that if I say that I don't like a guy because of certain attributes, if they become successful, it doesn't. I'm just like, hey, I want everybody to succeed. Sure. I just saw you were the least accurate quarterback I've ever seen in first round draft consideration in the history of football, of me watching football.
Show me you can grow.
Yeah. And you show me you can grow, and you show me that the red shirt year can save you. So red shirt your quarterbacks in the NFL. It's not just a college thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Dun, 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 dun.
The more you know.
All right. Okay, so let's get into that Chargers and Chiefs game. All right, Chargers, Chiefs. I guess this is can you believe it? That this is the 9th matchup between these two quarterbacks.
That's wild.
Yeah, this is the 9th matchup. This is and Mahomes has won all but one of them.
I believe that.
And that was this year. So, and it was in Brazil, so they never won in the U.S.
on U.S. soil.
On U.S. soil,
great.
No, not so much. Now, in this matchup, I definitely have a bias. It's definitely Patrick Mahomes, but Justin Herbert helped me in a college fantasy league before when he was at Oregon. I always thought that he had this potential, but whenever I found out he was 6'6", I was like, never mind, he's gonna get hurt too much. But he's been more. To me, he's what Trevor Lawrence was supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah, and Trevor Lawrence is kind of what other people thought that Justin Herbert was. I think that maybe they shook hands and did a Freaky Friday thing. I don't know. They switched places. You seen Freakier Friday yet?
I have not.
Neither have I. I don't plan on it.
Okay, good.
That's not in my wheelhouse. That's not my wheelhouse.
No, it is not.
I know I might surprise you with some of my movie choices. That's not
going to be.
That's not on the list. Not even on a whack-ass Wednesday. All right. But as far as these Kansas City Chiefs and these Chargers go, man, the Chargers are dogs in this game. No matter how bad KC looks,
which is shocking,
they're still going to be favored. They're playing at Arrowhead. I think that might have something to do with it. But 4.5 points is a lot, especially coming off their tough win they just had with the Eagles. And the 5 turnovers they just forced.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like, I think 4.5 points is a lot of points to think for two teams that, like, this is the first place team in the AFC West, and they're dogs. And you're saying that means if it's 4.5, that means that even if they were playing in LA, you would still say Kansas City by 1.5.
Right.
I can't roll with that. I'll say Kansas City will win the game.
Yeah.
Because they have to.
Yeah. What a weird season for them.
It is, but it's just the end of an era.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that the one thing I will say is if the Chargers win this game, it's the end of that dynasty, bro.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It is, because that puts them at, what, 8 losses or not? That puts them at 8. And
yeah, something like
and
that.
I don't know. And I just feel like if they lose to the Chargers, I don't feel like they're done with the losing this season.
I would agree with that.
You know,
too.
I feel like it's like, and Travis Kelce's Hall of Famer first ballot. He's been great, but like the thing is he's had to be great for them to be this good, because you really can't survive with your tight end just being your primary wide receiver for 10 years straight. Like, you know what I'm saying? The entirety of Mahomes' career, he's been his primary target. There was Tyreek there, but it was still Kelce getting all the targets, all the catches.
Sure.
And and he would and Tyreek would take the top off and you'd use him in the slot. But
I thought those two guys are probably some of the best complementary players in a way, because you had Reek, who could just go get it, dude. And you've got Kelce, who's got really steady hands, pretty physical dude up close to be able, like you said, to get all the targets.
And he moves well in space for being as big as he is.
Yeah.
But it's just, man, I just think it's a change of the guard. And I just think that when you pay a quarterback like this, like, look at their running back room versus the Chargers running back room.
Oh, for sure.
The Chargers have lost Najee Harris. They lost They lost Amarion for 6 weeks almost?
Yeah, I think something like that.
And then they still had Kamani Vidal come out here and getting 100 yards every other week.
Yep.
You know, they were like, that's Jim Harbaugh. He's built that running back room to where they could survive anything, to where Kamani Vidal has kept them afloat. He's the reason why they're surviving right now. And you can't say the same thing about KC's running back room. You know, it's like, y'all really wanted to run Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco back out here again? Come on, bro.
Now, admittedly, Kareem Hunt did some work for me on my fantasy team this year.
Now, but I'm just saying, it's like,
you're not wrong.
But it's like, they got 3 guys in a room and 2 of them are first round draft picks.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and you're over here with the off the street free agent, you know, and a guy that y'all hit on day 3 of the NFL draft. I'm like, y'all can bring some talent in this room as well. Like,
dudes that get hurt a lot.
And the thing is, they did bring in Brashard Smith, the SMU running back, but I haven't seen him out there, and he's really more of a change of pace third down guy, you know, so he's going to be your pass catcher. And I just think that maybe he just hasn't shown enough as far as being able to run block as to where he can get on the field, because when he was at SMU last year, he was a wide receiver until he transferred to SMU, and right before the fall started, they're like, hey, we need a running back.
Right.
Okay, I've been a wide receiver my first 4 years in college, like 4 years in college, not freshman. Yeah, not freshman. And then he turned into a running back and was pretty good. And, you know, he's an Andy Reid type of running back, but he hasn't been a part of that offense. And they need to have another weapon, because to me, it's just their wide receiver room. It's like too many point guards. You know, I always talk about a wide receiver room needs to look like a basketball starting 5. You can't have too many of one position. Right. And to me, all your guys are just point guards. You got a team full of point guards, a team full of guys who are good in space, you know, and not real. And I think really Tyquan Thornton, he's a fast guy and he's a little bit taller comparatively speaking, but there's no bulk to him. You don't expect him to go moss anybody and jump over everybody, because Randy Moss, even though he was skinny, he was wiry, strong like a George Pickens, you know, with the speed of a Tyquan.
You're not going to out-physical anybody.
With the speed of a Tyquan Thornton, the eyes of a hawk, ears of a wolf, speed of a puma.
Is that Brave Star?
Brave Star, baby. It's Christmas time. You know, I always think about whenever I first stopped believing in Santa, when I didn't get my Brave Star. I was like, Santa fake as hell.
Santa be lying.
It's like he got the speed of a puma. Speaking of Puma.
How you not going to bring him to me?
Yeah.
I will say I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So, okay, I agree that this probably is, if they don't pick it up,
Yeah.
this is the end of a dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think with Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes that they can re-dynasty
Yes.
in the next year or two?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just think it's really more the end of Travis Kelce's part of the dynasty
fair
and Chris Jones.
Chris Jones,
I just think that the amount of money you could free up by parting ways with those two guys who are two Hall of Famers. You know, Chris Jones has some years left, you know. Travis probably just going to ride off into the sunset, and you'll see him on New Heights podcast every week. And Taylor Swift concert near you.
Yep.
You know, maybe they'll spin off and have their own podcast.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, if y'all have a channel, put us on.
I'll tell you right now.
Hey.
If those two did a podcast together, that would break.
It'd break the internet.
Break the internet.
It would. They should just call it that. Break the internet.
Break the internet.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as this game goes, like I said, I'm gonna have to go KC win because they have to. Chargers cover.
Okay, so you think it's going to be a fairly close game?
It'll be a close game. I would say like a 1-point game to where maybe the Chargers are even winning most of the game, and maybe a Harrison Buckner field goal.
He struggled with some of that.
Or he gets cut because he missed a field goal.
Yeah. One way or the other.
One way or the other. He's going to be a GOAT some way.
Right?
Yeah.
Somebody's going to love him.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the other big quarterback matchup. The other noon game. Thank you, NFL.
Wild.
Thank you. But noon game, we have Baltimore at Cincinnati. And the Bengals are looking to complete the sweep of the Ravens this year, which is amazing because Joe Burrow came back just to whoop their ass.
Just in time.
In a quick turnaround to try and whoop that ass again. But I don't know if you're aware of this. Lamar Jackson's actually 6-2 against the Bengals. So that was only Joe Burrow's second win against the Ravens.
Oh, wow.
With Lamar Jackson in the lineup. What do you think? What are your thoughts on this matchup?
Man, if you had told me, even as recently as the beginning of the season, that we would be looking at Kansas City and Baltimore kind of on the outside looking in, it's wild to me, man. And I don't think it's Lamar's fault. I don't know what is going on in Baltimore, but
I think it's another one of those things. It's whatever. When you start paying quarterbacks a lot of money, when you look at Josh Allen, look at Lamar Jackson, look at Patrick Mahomes, they don't got no real number ones.
Right.
They got tight ends because it's like a cheaper way to get a number one. It's like let me get a number one wide receiver at a discount rate. So let's just invest in great tight ends.
And they used to have Mark Andrews, who was great, but I mean, he hadn't really.
Yeah,
he's still there. He just hasn't shown the flash.
And it's almost like you would think that it might be time for them to move on from him and give Isaiah Likely the opportunity because Isaiah Likely and whenever he plays well.
Yeah,
he plays well. But it's just there's just something weird that's going on with it, and I really just think like it's the lack of trying to invest and develop a number one wide receiver through the draft. Or missing on those guys. Because to me, Zay Flowers has a role, but I don't necessarily think that he's a 1A Pro Bowl type of receiver.
Right.
Like he's a complimentary guy who could be a 1B guy and a guy who's dangerous in the slot, you know?
Sure.
But I don't necessarily think that he's as great in space as, say, a Tyreek Hill to where he can be that dynamic. And even with that, he still needed Travis Kelce to play at his best for him to do that.
Right.
And, and with Mark Andrews going to play this way, then that can't open anything up for Zay Flowers right now.
Yeah.
Rashad Bateman's kind of been in and out, but he hasn't really lived up to being a first-round draft pick.
Right.
So I just think they've had a lot of misses as far as these potential offensive weapons. And people forget, remember whenever the Ravens drafted Mark Andrews, they drafted Hayden Hurst in the first round. Mark Andrews was an afterthought.
Wow.
So he turned into that guy. To me, as far as this game goes, I don't know, man. I just think that Burrow's on a mission, and I just think that I just don't like I don't like the feeling that I'm getting out of Baltimore. It's almost it's almost like, and I don't necessarily think that Henry's been bad, but it's just not everything's it's just not working this year.
For whatever reason, it's not clicking.
And to me, and if you're Baltimore, do you even bring Henry back next year? If you're not making the playoffs with him,
right?
And to me, last year was amazing, and I don't think it's on him. I think it could be, I know they don't have the best offensive line, and it seems that it's kind of been that way for quite some time. but but I think it's just Baltimore has a reputation of always having a great defense, and they don't really have that legendary defense. There's no more Haloti Nadas, Ed Reeds, Ray Lewis is over there.
Yeah.
Like they do have Roquan Smith, you know, who is one of the top, you could say top 5 linebacker in the league, but really, and Kyle Hamilton, you know, he's one of the top 5 safeties in the league. He's not Ed Reed,
right?
You know, and you know Roquan Smith, he's not Ray Lewis,
right?
And anybody they got up front, they're definitely not no Haloti Nada, but it's like, but the people still treat him like they're supposed to be, and I just feel like they don't have that identity. And I don't like to say this because I like him as a coach, but John Harbaugh, man, he's kind of a special teams coach. So when the offense goes bad, it's not his fault. When the defense goes bad, it's not his fault. So he's just a guy who gets to fire coordinators forever. So eventually, you know, it's going to have to come back on him, right?
Right. Eventually
it will, you know? So I'm just thinking that this might be the offseason. So I know Michigan, they need a new coach. They love Jim. Go get his brother, John.
Right.
Like, you know, cause it seems like whether it's, if the Ravens or the Steelers, whoever doesn't make the playoffs, one of them coaches is getting fired, it seems like. Why don't y'all just trade coaches?
Dude, I'd love it.
Trade Harbaugh for Tomlin. Let's do it. Let's do it. Coaches trade.
I love Mike Tomlin.
Hey, I love him too. I can't wait till the movie where he's played by Omar Epps.
Right.
You know, but don't wait too long. Don't wait too long.
Because they can split apart.
Yeah.
I will say this too. I'm kind of curious to see what goes on. I haven't checked anything today, but T. Higgins, you know, entered concussion protocol, came out of concussion protocol,
got concussed,
had to go back in. So I'll be curious to see if he ends up playing.
I think that if T. Higgins is playing, then I think that it's an easy win for Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Easy. Well, nothing's easy in the NFL,
but you know, but easier.
But easier. Less of a challenge, I'll say. Less of a challenge.
Yeah.
And all these teams are tough, but whenever you can have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins on the field at the same time, that's a cheat code.
Yeah.
It's a cheat code. And let's see. So the spread in this game, Cincinnati is the underdog in this game by 2.5, but it is in Cincinnati. They did beat Baltimore in Baltimore. They knew that Joe Burrow was coming back. I just think that if they beat y'all's ass on Thanksgiving, they're gonna do it again when you come to their house. Yeah. You know, I just don't think that. Like I just think that the wheels have fallen off that car over there in Baltimore, and I'm rolling with Joe Cool.
Joe Cool. I agree.
Joe Thorough.
Ooh.
Yeah,
that's a new one.
That's a new one. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and get into some NFC action and the later schedule. 2 games that are at 325. They could have been flexed. They could have been flexed. They could have all been flexed.
And once again, both really good matchups.
Really good matchups. I'm like, I could have seen this, fool. But anyway, we got the Lions at Rams at 325, and we also have Green Bay at Denver. So let's start off with the Lions versus the Rams. I guess this is this will be the 4th matchup between Stafford and Goff since they've been traded for each other. They're 1-1 regular season, but Stafford has the postseason advantage, giving him a 2-1 record. Dallas bias tie-in, Highland Park representative. I don't know how many people from Highland Park listen to the show. Probably not a lot. I've got a lot of friends who went there, but it's all good. Shout out.
They're all too busy sipping wine.
Yeah. Shout out to Chandler Morris.
Nice.
All right, but let's talk about this OG from Highland Park and his battle against the guy he was once traded for, Jared Goff. Do you think that now the Lions, they looked pretty impressive last week against us?
Yeah, they did.
You know, and they've had their moments. Like, you know, I want to say whenever they first played against Chicago, they put a whooping on Ben Johnson. Like, they knew everything that he was going to run out there. And at times they look like the best team in the NFC East, and at other times they don't. And now a lot of it could be that's a tough division.
For sure.
It's a tough division from top to bottom, like, because a lot of people thought Chicago was going to be the worst team in the division, just based off.
They've been surprised. They've been kind of surprising this year.
And, you know, it's pretty much if you were a Ben Johnson believer, then you thought this was likely. But the thing is, nobody thought that Minnesota would fall off because even me not being a big J.J. McCarthy fan, I never thought that he'd be this bad.
Right.
But, you know, that's a whole other thing. We ain't talking about Minnesota no more. Yeah, Lions, Rams. Let's see. That spread is going to be at 5.5. The Rams big. So that means that Vegas don't care what you did, Detroit. And Matt Stafford, I'm pretty sure that one loss you got was probably back in Detroit, so you just gave them something. You gave something to the fans, so maybe that one don't even count.
Right.
Maybe you're really undefeated. You just had to give them something. So I really, 5.5 points is a lot, especially as good as Detroit looked last week. But I think that they'll be able to exploit the secondary like we thought Dallas would be able to.
Right.
As beat up as Detroit's secondary is, like they have if they don't have a corner taller than 5'10", what you gonna do with Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua with Matt Stafford out here?
Yeah.
You know? And the consistent running game with Kyron Williams. Their defense is one of the best in the league. Their defense is way better than the Cowboys. So I could see it being a shootout just because Detroit's offense is rolling, especially the way they looked last week. I think that whenever you can get Montgomery and you get Gibbs going, then nobody can really stop that inside outside when both of them are doing it. Last week, St. Brown, it was his first. Well, he was questionable, came out and played, didn't look like.
I didn't even think he was going to come out and play.
I didn't think he was going to come out and play. Not even he played and he looked good. He balled out, you know. And to me, Jameson Williams, this is his breakout season. And I think if all those guys are healthy, man, that offense is tough to beat. But I just don't think that they have it defensively in the secondary to keep up. Like I said, I would think that Detroit would probably cover the 5.5, but there's no way they're going to go 1-0.
You think an over maybe on that as well?
I would definitely, man. You'd have to score a lot of points. You know what? Good offense beats good defense in most cases. I would say the way they're rolling. Yeah, I would say, or
at least a high scoring game.
The over, let's see what that over under is in this game. We are looking at, boom, over under is 55.5. That's a lot of points.
That is a lot of points.
Ooh. Yeah, let's go over. I like it. I like it. The higher to me, when I see the highest one, that means it's going to overtime. Buffalo Wild Wings stuff.
I love it.
Let's go.
Let's call it
now. Don't come calling me if you lose your bet. You know what I'm saying? This is all for fun, entertainment purposes.
Yeah, these are not recommendations.
Nah, these are not recommendations. We just talking. We talking. All right, so let's get into that last NFL game we're going to discuss, and that's going to be the other 325 game where we have Jordan Love facing Bo Nix. The first time these two guys are going up against each other. If you're from Denver and if you're from Green Bay, you probably think this is a Super Bowl preview, but nobody else does.
Right.
But two good young quarterbacks. Who do you like in this game, Patrick?
I can't even believe I'm about to say this. I think Denver.
It's in Mile High. You know, the altitude is something.
For sure.
It's something. People talk about it all the time.
And I feel like they've been good. They've looked okay.
Mm-hmm.
But weirdly enough, like, I don't feel like it's like, you know, most teams you can point at the 1 or 2 or 3 superstars and kind of be like, they're getting the bulk of the work done type deal. I don't feel like that's that way.
Yeah, but I feel like with both of these receiving cores, you kind of have to pick your poison as far as who you want to cover. Because I think that with Denver, as much as everybody fears and respects Cortland Sutton, like Bo Nix and Troy Franklin have a connection that goes back to college. Right. You know, they were college teammates and they scored a lot of touchdowns together. Also, Marvin Mims is a special teams dynamo. Like, honestly, I think he's better than KaVontae Turpin as far as being a receiver and a return specialist. He's the AFC's version of KaVontae Turpin,
right,
with 20 more pounds and another inch.
Which would be really nice.
Which would help him out a lot, make him maybe not be so scared to catch the football.
I like Harvey.
Oh, and I love Harvey. Now, my issue is the depth at running back, because whenever they had the two-headed monster going, then I felt a little bit more comfortable or confident in their running game.
Sure.
And I think that even though, like, Harvey's had big touchdown games, and he's been getting in the end zone, and I think it's really just been because he's like their only option. But I really haven't seen him have that breakout yardage game yet.
Right.
And I think that they're going to need that. They're going to need some of that, just because I think that Green Bay defensively, Jeff Hafley is one of the better defensive coordinators in football. And so he can throw stuff at Bo Nix that he might have not seen yet. And also with the Broncos versus the Packers offense, as legendary as Sean Payton is in this league, Matt LaFleur is my favorite play caller in football. He's my favorite play caller in football. I love the way he does motion. I love the way he has the little pop passes. You know, it's like, just because to me, those types of things, I feel like they can build your quarterback's confidence when you can just set up these little short routes and screen routes, these trip sets to where it causes confusion for the defense. And I feel like it's almost like I say, Mike McCarthy, it confuses him too much to where he doesn't even want to try it. You know,
he's confused,
so he doesn't want to do it. You know, so. But I'm just a fan of his. I'm just a big fan of Matt LaFleur, and but to win in Denver is a lot.
Yeah.
And they're favored. And I just don't think that they can win. I don't think they can cover that. Like, if they win, it'll be close, but I just think if they win, it's just because Denver had to eventually lose a game because they've won 10 straight.
Right.
But it's hard to see them losing in Denver. I need to check the weather on this game.
I was going to ask, like, if we had a weather report, because I feel like it's probably going to be pretty cold.
Yeah, this is going to be a cold game. The run game is going to be extra important. RJ Harvey being from, like, a Florida guy, I don't know, man.
Who knows how that goes?
But maybe he's been practicing in the snow all week, and maybe he's used to it. I don't know. We'll see. But give me I'm going to have to go with give me Denver to cover. Give me Denver to cover and win.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, Jordan Love. I want you to score a lot of points because you're my quarterback in my other league. Yeah. But shout out Jordan Love.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess that's enough NFL talk. We'll go through and do a little bit of college football talk real quick. Don't want to keep you too long, Patrick. I know you got other things to do, but right now it's college football time.
Love chopping it up.
Thank you, bro. Now we're going to talk about all these college football snubs, like the CFB. I know I talked to you early on in the week. My mood's changed since then. I was a very sad person on Sunday to where I boycotted all football. I did not watch a single game of football on Sunday. Now I had stuff recording. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna go back.
I gotta be able to watch it if I need to.
I gotta have the resources, you know. But yeah, I was so sad that I just watched a whole bunch of Christmas movies. Not like It's a Wonderful Life. I'm talking about like Krampus,
right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like some dark stuff, some dark stuff. That's the mood I was in. It's like, you know, you ever seen Better Watch Out? It's like, yeah.
Yes.
Those types of movies. Like, you know, somebody got to die.
Right.
Like, you know,
I need to know.
Like people getting murked in these Christmas movies. That's what I'm talking about. Because I felt like somebody needed to get murked for this. Now, let's not go that far. Nobody needs to die, except for the system. The system needs to die.
Yep.
The system is flawed. But first, before we get into which team should have been, who got snubbed, who didn't, who deserves to be in there, whatever, I want to talk about Notre Dame first.
All right.
The classless Catholics. That's what I'm calling them right now.
I like it.
Classless. I'm like, the ACC's done everything for Notre Dame, where I've always pretty much called them the de facto ACC team, because when in doubt, the ACC and Notre Dame are going to make sure that they're involved to, like, you know, ACC will never get snubbed because Notre Dame will always get in there. Right. But I think that this bitterness probably started last year with the ACC because Notre Dame got to the championship and got $20 million to keep to themselves. You know, if any other team from a conference got $20 million, they have to share with the conference.
Sure.
So if you're Notre Dame, you're never going to want to join a conference. So if anybody thinks joining a conference is the solution, Notre Dame's never going to do that. They have a TV contract. Sure. They got $20 million by themselves to lose a championship game. Come on, bro. But
there are way too many benefits to them.
Too many benefits for it, yeah. But I do think that as far as them going to a bowl, if they need to be criticized or not, I think, and I've been consistent with this, it depends. What do you think about players skipping bowl games for to go to the NFL? If you feel like players should be able to skip bowl games and prepare for the NFL draft, and then you're fine with Notre Dame, then I'm cool with you. I just need people to be consistent. And if you were vehemently against any players skipping a bowl game to prepare for the NFL draft, I need you to have that same energy for Notre Dame football. Same energy. I need it.
I feel like I'm the other way around. It's like I'm okay with players skipping. I'm not okay with the team skipping.
Well, to me, it's one of those things. I feel like I can't be mad. That's the person I set for myself. You know, because I'm like, I'm not mad that you did it. But now I'm mad at how they're acting, how they've handled it since, you know, just the crying and the finger pointing. It's just like, look, you have 18 to 22, 23-year-old men on this team, and this is how you're acting as a leader of these people. That if you don't get what you want, you will take your ball and you will go home.
Yep.
That is childish. It's like, and you're teaching these people, it's like, no, you get what you want because you're privileged. And if you don't get what you want because of your privilege, then you have the right to be a baby.
That don't work for me.
Nah, that's like I would honestly, if I had a child that was of that age and Notre Dame was on his list of schools to go to, he ain't going
right
there.
off the list.
Well, but then I'd probably meet Marcus Freeman and change my mind because he seems like a cool dude,
Right?
you know. But the AD, that whole stuff, like it's classless. Classless Catholics. Say that 3 times.
Man, that's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, classless Catholics. Classless.
I like that.
All right. But yeah, all right, let's talk about the other teams that got snubbed because Notre Dame, they did get played. They did get played. And I really do believe that, yes, they deserve to be in there. They absolutely 100% deserve to be in there. But something needs to change. Something needs to change. And I think that the biggest issue is the ACC. They messed everything up by trying to get rid of divisions in their conference. And I think that every conference, them getting rid of divisions is what's caused this disruption.
Right.
And I think what happened is, you know, what Mark Cuban say? It's like, what is it? Pigs get greedy and pigs get fat and then pigs get slaughtered. Something like that. So y'all have literally grown your league so much to where y'all can't play each other. Even if you had a division, y'all can't play each other once and have a season.
Because you're worried about money.
Because y'all are worried about TV sharing revenue.
Yep.
I think honestly somebody needs to step in and just regionalize conferences and stop with the, it's like, you know, and if you're a private school, fine. Like Notre Dame, if you want to start a conference with other Catholic schools and religious schools, like go play BYU. That'd be a good game.
Sure.
That would have been a great game.
Actually, this year, it would have been really good.
Yeah, get the Catholics and the Mormons, call it the Holy Shit Bowl.
Man.
They got a lot of names for these bowls.
I think one of my biggest things is like, I'm not clear, and maybe that's because admittedly, I have not read the
bylaws,
the rules or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, what's the criteria?
Okay,
are we talking
about
the actual best team or the record?
Here's what happened. The problem is the ACC didn't hold up their end of the bargain because since they got rid of their divisions, they didn't. Well, let's not even just say divisions. Let's say the tiebreakers that they have for these different conferences are set up weird to where it's like, how is a 10-2 Miami not playing whenever they have in the ACC championship game when they have the same conference record as Duke, who is 8-4, 8-5? Like, you know,
right?
To me, it's like you should make sure that. I don't know. I think that maybe every conference should make it to where, like, hey, the 2 highest ranked teams in the CFP poll play each other in the championship, in the conference championship.
Sure,
game. That would simplify things.
That'll knock one of them.
I'll knock one of them out. But yeah. But as far as the teams that got snubbed, I would say that yes, Notre Dame definitely snubbed. I don't think that there's really anything they could have done. They won 10 straight games after losing two games. One on the road, one at home. I am one of those guys that whenever you lose a game at home, I kind of take you off, be like, nah, man, you got 100,000 people over there rooting for you. People can't buy tickets. If you got that home field advantage, you lose, you out of here.
Because they say in college, that's what, a 7-point advantage normally?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty big advantage.
The average they give you.
Yeah. But it's just, and even last year, to me, Notre Dame, I'm like, y'all lost Northern Illinois. I wouldn't put y'all in. You know, and to me, there's a couple of things that need to change, but I think that these conferences need to figure out a better way to have conference championship games, whether it's the 2 highest rated CFP polled teams or bring back the divisions, but they need to change that. Right. And then we wouldn't have had this problem. Then Miami would have been playing against Virginia, and then the winner of that game would be in here, and we wouldn't have an issue.
Right.
But, you know, and Duke is a good team. They're just not there yet. They're like a year away. They have a sophomore quarterback who I think if he came out this year could be in the discussion of being a first-round pick. Oh, but, yeah, I want to say that he was the number 1 transfer quarterback prospect in the country in the portal last year, but he was a redshirt freshman. So he can go pro, but more than likely he's going to stay at Duke and help build something because, you know, to take Duke to a championship game, people did get to see him. And now he's made his name a little bit bigger. But as far as most college football pundits, they all are familiar with him, and they think that he'll be pretty good in the future. Okay. Yeah, but I would say that, yes, definitely Notre Dame got snubbed. BYU got snubbed. But the thing is with them being a Big 12 team, they understood that, hey, if we lost to Texas Tech twice, they're only going to put one Big 12 team.
Yeah.
They only put one Big 12 team in there last year, so that kind of set precedent. So, and they've handled it classy.
Sure.
They've handled it pretty classy. Also, Texas, I will say.
I was about to say, your boys.
The Longhorns, he shouldn't have lost to Florida.
Yeah.
But they lost at the Swamp, and when they lost to Florida at the Swamp, nobody knew that Florida was going to be as bad as they were. So they're getting punished for a team that has come into disarray since that. And I don't think it's fair to punish Texas for whenever they had a coach, when they had a healthy wide receiving core, when they had both their running backs healthy. And also with Texas, people aren't talking about the fact is C.J. Baxter didn't play in that Florida game. Pretty much their running back, Trey Wisner, played in that game, even though he missed the previous week and then missed the week after and only had 8 carries in that game. So that means that their 2 top running backs were out in that game, on a road game, where they lost by 8 points on the road. Texas lost at the Swamp, and they lost at Ohio Stadium. And they're not in the playoff. Those are 2 places you can lose in the history of college football. If your team's going to lose 2 games on the road,
you want them to
that's where you want to lose. That's where you're going to lose. That's where it's like, oh, it's going to be tough. No matter what the record is, it's hard to play in these places. And I just think that it would have helped Texas if Indiana lost to Ohio State.
Sure.
Because I think that if Ohio State was able to beat Indiana
and be number one,
and it might even taken them to beat Indiana by maybe more than 2,
really
like 10 points, like a bigger spread than by what they beat Texas by. Right. Then that would have helped Texas's case. But once Indiana won that, I kind of knew, and I'm pretty sure that most Texas fans knew that they were out. Yeah. 3 losses. Vanderbilt, they deserve an opportunity.
Although Alabama got in there.
But Alabama, 3. And to me, and that's my thing. Alabama, people are saying they should not get punished for their championship game loss. I'm like, yes, they should. Because to me, you're not getting punished for the loss. You're getting punished for how bad you got beat. There's a difference. Y'all got embarrassed, and y'all pretty much started like playing keep away so y'all wouldn't get your asses kicked. Like Alabama's been bad, and it's like, and remember a few years ago, whenever Florida State lost their quarterback, they ended up not putting them into the BCS, not putting them into the CFP. There've been so many names.
No, I know. Yeah,
you know? I'm an old man. I've seen it all. I've seen everything. But yeah, I just think in the CFP, it just needs to extend to 16 teams. It would just make more sense. Yeah, and we need to do something about these mid-majors. And I'm a guy who went to Bowling Green State. I love the mid-major. I think like last year, Boise State, I felt like we had to wait till the last second to figure out that Boise State was going to make it. And they lost to Oregon, who was undefeated.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But now we got Tulane over here with 1 loss. Or wait, no, Tulane got 2 losses. James Madison has 1. Tulane lost to Ole Miss, who they're going to play again, by, was it 25 or by 35 points? By 35 points. And, you know, and if that was their only loss, I'd be cool with it. Oh, all they lost? No, right. But then y'all lost to University of Texas San Antonio, the Roadrunners, by 22 points. By 22 points.
This is why.
If you like, to me, I think that like an undefeated mid-major team or a mid-major team that has a close loss to like a team that's going to be in the playoff. Like, say, if that game against Ole Miss was way closer, then Tulane needs to be in this.
Sure.
But if you got blown out by 25, 35 points, then you've shown that you don't belong in this league with these guys. Like, you know, and to me, I do think that James Madison, if they went undefeated, then they should be there. But it's just like y'all are barely, y'all just became D1 like 3 years ago. Like,
that's why I want the criteria. Like, I think there should be more transparency in terms of like, show me the algorithm with how much weight you attach to record, how much weight you attach to eyeball test.
Well, I think the biggest problem was like the fact that the ACC didn't get the winner of their game in, because they could have got 2 teams in, but instead of getting 2 teams, they got the 1, and now we have one of these mid-majors in there because it's the highest-ranked conference champion.
Right.
But you would never think that the highest-ranked conference champion would be a mid-major team. So they wrote the rule to try to exclude them, but actually ended up including them. Like, you know, it's like you're trying to like write a prejudice algorithm, but the math, you can't, it's math. The numbers can't lie.
Well, and the wild part is this isn't the first time it feels like that somebody's gotten either boosted up or held down by the rule that was trying to do the opposite thing.
Yeah.
They can't do that.
Yeah, but I do think that it's a shame because we have the Heisman Trophy that's going to be announced this weekend on Saturday. And you have, I want to say it's Julian Sayin, Diego Pavia, Jeremiah Love, and Fernando Mendoza. We have 2 guys that are going to New York that are not playing these college football playoffs.
Right.
And if y'all just got it right, then all 4 of them will be in there. And it'd be great to, like, we know these guys' names, and now we get to go see them play these next few weeks. It would be great publicity for what y'all have going on.
Can build.
So if they expanded to 16 teams, then Notre Dame would have been in there, Vanderbilt would have been in there, Texas would have been in there.
Yep.
You know, it's so I don't know. Do something, but I think that the mid majors need to cancel each other out. You can't put 2 of them in there unless they're both. If they're both undefeated, then we have an argument.
Sure.
Because all you can do is play the schedule you have in front of you.
Yeah.
But outside of that, there should never be a 2-loss group of 5 team in a 12-team playoff in college football.
Right.
Now, if they expand it to 16, all right, fine. Because then that means we're going to have 3-loss teams from all these other conferences.
Right.
So
from
why not?
SEC or wherever.
But also I wanted to just say Oklahoma trash. Y'all don't deserve to be in there. Y'all just whatever.
Truth.
It's like shout out John Mateer though. It's really it's your hand. Next year y'all will be scary, but y'all don't scare anybody right now. But those are the snubs.
You're going nowhere.
But I guess I also said my fixes as well, right? Those were the fixes. I mixed them in there.
Yeah.
You know, but call me Commissioner Jordan. Not from Batman. We cousins though.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to a little bit of Mavs basketball. All right. It's a year of Cooper Flag. It's been an exciting year in some moments. I would say the last week and a half we've looked pretty good ever since the return of Anthony Davis, aka Street Clothes. Nuh-uh, not today. He balling today. Well, tomorrow night is when they actually play again. But bad news out of Mavericks training camp. Well, out of the Mavericks camp, not training camp.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say.
I know what you meant.
Yeah, don't tell me what I'm saying. The Mavericks, the word out of there is that Dereck Lively is having season-ending foot surgery. And it's just been unfortunate because it just seems like the guy can't catch a break.
Yeah.
Whether it's basketball, whether it's his personal life, it's just he's had a rough go at it since he's been here. And he's just one of those people, it's hard not to root for him.
For sure.
Everybody loves Dereck Lively, and thoughts and prayers with him. Hope he's keeping his head up, and but now he doesn't have to keep his head on a swivel, but Anthony Davis does.
He better.
That's right. The man known as Street Clothes. What is it? Day-to-day Davis. Anthony Davis. There've been some reports this week that there are actually teams interested in trading for Anthony Davis, which is something that you love to hear when you're a Mavericks fan, because I think with Nico gone, I think this is the next shoe that needs to drop for Mavs fans to get over this, get over this Luka rage, the Luka outrage.
Every time you see him not on the court, all you're thinking about is Luka. Yeah,
because to me, I got so much Luka stuff in my house. I've invested in this.
As I walk through my memories.
It's like I can't walk to my sunroom without seeing Luka. I can't look at my shoe rack without seeing a pair of Lukas. It's like I've invested into this and into this greatness that was supposed to be part of this because, we had Dirk for 21 years. Who would ever think that we would lose? Oh, well, I hate you, Nico.
Everybody does.
Yes, and I'm glad that you're gone.
Hell yeah.
I'm glad you're gone. All right. Yeah, that's some Nico hate. But anyways, we do have a few trade rumors out there. Well, not necessarily rumors, but teams that say that they want to be in on the Dereck Lively sweepstakes. Now, as far as I'm concerned, on the Anthony Davis sweepstakes. As far as I'm concerned, send him anywhere. You can send him to the West, send him to the East. I don't care. Send him anywhere. I know that the Raptors are interested. Send him to Toronto. Cool.
Just get the best deal this time and don't one team it like
no. To me,
Luka.
and the thing is, we don't have to worry about that anymore because the asshole who did that is no longer with us.
Right.
And a more not that way. I know a lot of y'all wish that on him, but
he's still living.
He's still alive. It's like y'all's dreams didn't come true.
Nope.
I said y'all's because I don't wish that on people.
Hey, Christmas is just 2 weeks away, man.
that's crazy. Okay, but I am looking forward to this, and I think that now that Dereck Lively is injured, I think that it makes trading Anthony Davis more of a priority. And I think the sooner you do it, the better, because one of Anthony Davis's biggest gripes that he always has is the fact that he hates playing center because he'd rather just play power forward. And he's 6'10", 6'11", and a lot of people whatever. You don't want to guard the 7-foot guy because you're 6'11". And, he's beat up all the time. So he can always use that as an excuse. So just give him what he wants, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But I just think that, a lot of things, like Dwight Howard used to be the same way too. And I don't know if a lot of people know this, but these guys were like 6'3", like their sophomore years, and they had the crazy growth spurt.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just they never saw themselves being that center. So it's almost like, y'all trying to limit my skills.
I was resigned to already playing this other position.
Yeah.
And now I grew up.
Yeah. But I would, if I had to trade him anywhere, I would want Tim to go to the Detroit Pistons.
Any real reason why?
Yes, because it's a Dallas bias tie-in. Right. Cade Cunningham from Bowie High School, Arlington. Okay. Arlington's own, one of the best young players in the NBA. I'd love to give him a running mate. And he only has 2 years left on his deal, so they don't really have. I think to have Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duran, and Anthony Davis, they don't necessarily. That would give Anthony Davis a big, strong center to play next to him, to where he never has to worry about playing power forward again.
Nice.
And maybe that would keep him more durable and healthy, so he wouldn't have to play those minutes. So. And I think with a point guard like Cade Cunningham, he could easily find the ball, but still be the number one scoring option on a team, seeing as Cade Cunningham can be a scorer or a facilitator whenever he chooses to be. So my dream scenario is hook my boy Cade Cunningham up, let them Pistons win a championship while the Mavericks are down, and maybe hopefully in a few years we'll get some Detroit versus Dallas finals runs where we have Cooper Flagg doing his thing.
I like where your head's at.
Yeah, thank you. It's usually in the clouds, but I'm right here with you today, Patrick. All right, now before we get out of here, let's talk a little bit of hockey. It's been a crazy few weeks. I would say just because the last time I went to a Stars game, it was the last time they lost.
Bro, they have been so enjoyable.
They've been great this year. They've been amazing this year. And I went to see Jamie Benn's return when they played against the Islanders, and they were on a 5-game winless streak or a winning streak. And then what? They lose that one game, and then it's all good, Jordan. We just had to get Jamie in here.
Right back on the street.
Man, right back at it. Unfortunately, last week, Tyler Seguin tore his ACL. It sounds like long-term injured reserve. So that means that Jim Neal has that money to make a deal.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Now, I wouldn't think that Jim Neal would make a deal anytime soon. I think he's going to wait and try and see what he can get, because I don't think that there have been rumors about Jason Robertson getting traded since Lord knows when.
Yeah, we've been hearing that for a minute.
Ain't going to happen.
I don't like that.
It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. I just why would it happen? Because to me, it's like now you see what he looks like with him and Mikko Rantanen playing together. They're unstoppable.
Yeah.
They're an unstoppable duo up there. We've been seeing Wyatt do his thing along with them. You haven't seen, well, I guess he was a little beat up earlier, but he's been playing more consistently. I think he's still scoring a point a game, doing his thing. But with Seguin out, Duchesne hasn't played all year.
Right.
Duchesne hasn't played all year. So to me, that's like the trade right there.
Right.
So I think that Jim Neal will wait he'll wait to see how we look when Matt Duchesne comes back, and then we'll kind of play it out from there. Because I think because if you have Rupe, Robertson, and Rantanen on your top line, that's a top line that can rival anybody's.
Right.
And now it's just really more about the depth you have after that. Because with Johnson, you love Johnson, and you might even want to put him on that the top line with those other three guys, just because if you have those three big guys up there on that top line, then you don't have any other size for the rest of your lines.
Right.
So, I'd be interested to see what Duchesne does when he gets back. Niels Lundqvist came back, and I know that Liam Bichelle is out for the season, but they're not going to put him on long term. So there's a chance he might be back for the playoffs, is what I'm hearing. We'll need him for the playoffs, but my whole thing is I've always just wanted Niels Lundqvist, the tiny little defenseman, next to the big defenseman, because I think it works.
It just looks cool.
It just looks cool. It looks cool. I'm pretty sure that's why they drafted Bichelle, because they still had faith in Lundqvist, and I just would like to see them play together. I really haven't. I think he's been back for about 6 games now. I haven't really noticed how big an impact he's had recently, but I'm sure the more ice time he gets, he's getting consistent ice time now, which he hasn't had his entire time here with the Stars. Now, it could say a lot more about who we have back there, the lack of people we have there.
For sure.
But he is more experienced, and the more games that he plays, because he's still a young guy. What is he? Is he even 25? Lundqvist, he might be 25.
He's not much more.
Yeah. But, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do. But what, as far as the Stars Stanley Cup chances, do you think that they're hurt by the injury to Tyler Seguin?
Not that bad if they are. I mean, I feel like he's probably somewhat of he has to be. I mean, I've never read anything that says he's like a locker room leader or anything like that, but he's got to be a steady.
Well,
presence.
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Long
well,
enough.
I don't think that there'd be a chance that him and Ben could play together this long and not be like, he wears the A on his chest
for sure
for a reason. And I know, like, a lot of fans I talk to, whenever we ever, there have been times in the past where people have discussed who should be the next captain, because there have been situations where some people have suggested, I'm not saying me, I'm not saying not me, have suggested that Jamie Benn give up the seat. And,
I have said this.
Yeah, and a lot of people have said, given the C up, they should go to Seguin. I'm like, why? It's like they like the same age. That don't make no sense to me.
No, I definitely have not said that.
Yeah, it's like, to me, it's like, we got the Finnish mafia over here. Just give it to my boy. But now that we got Mikko here, it doesn't necessarily need to be a Miro getting it. But hey, one of them Finnish guys need to get it. I've
said Rupe for a long time.
Yeah, Rupe.
Yeah,
Rupe. Yeah, I would love it to be Rupe too.
He was a little bit young when I first started saying that, but I really honestly think Rupe.
I need Rupe to be a little bit more healthy. Like, it's just being that big and skating that fast. It's just
tough.
It's tough. You fly into them boards pretty fast. You know what I'm saying?
A big dude.
Yeah, he's one of the fastest guys in hockey at 6'3", 225. It's like, gravity, science.
Right.
Stuff happens when you hit walls.
I did see a thing, I don't know how accurate, that Marchment wants out of his deal.
And wants to come back?
And potentially wants to come back.
So he wants a buyout?
I would love
to bring him back. But not on a trade. Like, no. I want if you hit that street, it's like, we'll see you over here. And to me, my thing is, we had to get rid of Marchment in order to bring Duchesne back.
For sure.
And bye.
Nothing you did wrong.
Nothing you did wrong.
We need this more.
I'm like, I said I'd rather have Duchesne back than Jamie Benn.
Yeah.
100%. It's like, and to me, Duchesne coming back with Seguin leaving, I think that we're going to be a better team with Duchesne out there than we were with Seguin. And now the thing is, yes, Seguin, one of those all-time prospect guys, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Duchesne, he's a top 10 pick when he came out. He's a good prospect as well, but just the consistency that I've seen from Duchesne since he's been here. And I like whenever he does the shootout.
Yeah,
because he comes wide and does.
Oh yeah,
it's cool. It's cool.
It is.
It's cool to watch.
It is cool to watch, and especially I'm guessing you're probably like me, not great on ice skates. So it's like seeing somebody do that is pretty cool.
I'm like one of those little cartoon deers or something with the legs all nah, that ain't me. I'm not made for the ice. Yeah, but I'm cool as hell.
Yeah,
let's go.
I also will say I really had hoped, stupidly, because I'm a fan. It's definitely the fan side of me thinking, not the brain.
Mm-hmm.
I had really hoped, we had the Benaissance for a minute. I was hoping Seguin would have a similar moment.
But the thing is like, but he has his moments. But the thing is, we can't get a full season out of him
for
anymore.
Sure.
And it's just and even though he's younger than Ben, I think he's more beat up.
Yeah,
he's more beat up. With Jamie, a lot of that time when he was getting paid, he just wasn't that good. Like, let's just be real. like
yeah, you're not wrong.
At least with Seguin, it's like, but he could be playing through some stuff that we don't know about because all they tell us is injury below the eyebrow,
lower body injury,
below the eyebrow injury.
Like what?
Yeah, it's like very, very vague. So I don't know what's wrong with these guys. But he is playing well this year. Stars are looking good this year. Colorado's looking good this year.
Yeah.
So we'll see, because we're going to end up having to face them eventually. That's what it always comes down to. And
Path to
and
the
I think,
championship.
yeah, so that's the reason why Jim Neal, he's not going to stand pat with $11 million on the book going to, nah. And I know they've changed the rules a little bit as far as how you can't do the Mark Stone thing that Vegas has been doing, just stash the guy all year. It's like, come
Hide him.
Hide him. And so I think that I think either we'll look it up in the future. I don't want to tell y'all the wrong thing.
Right.
You know, I was on my football stuff today. All right. I can't be that athletically eclectic. I don't know. What would I say? Something like that.
Something along those lines.
Y'all know what I mean.
I knew what you meant.
Thank you. And that's how language works. That's how communication works. You know what I mean. And I said something. Okay. All right. Before we get out of here, it's been a while, Pat, but let's go ahead and hit him with that stay streaming. All right, Patrick. It's been a while since we talked about, since we've talked amongst the public.
Yes.
About shows on TV. It's December, so there have been a lot of good shows on television this year. Is there anything that just has caught your attention besides Below Deck?
Below Deck has a big chunk of my attention. I mean, as everybody knows, I love my terrible procedurals.
Yeah.
I've picked up one or two of those. I will say I watch less of them now than I have in previous.
That's good to hear.
Whiles.
Hey, Patrick is he's the one who keeps that CBS demographic under 45.
And my newest one is Sheriff Country.
Oh, with Marina Baccarin?
100%.
Yeah. It's like CBS, Marina Baccarin, count me in.
Terrible show, by the way.
It's like Fire Country, right? It's a spinoff?
It's a spinoff. Yeah. And one of the dudes from the show definitely shows up sometimes. Which
Good,
I don't watch Fire
him.
Country.
So you don't even get it? Does your mom have to let you know? It's like,
she has to tell me.
Yeah. Oh, that's Dane from.
Yeah, basically. Other than that, lately, I went ahead and got the HBO Max on Black Friday deal.
Yeah.
$3 a month, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And I immediately dove into that Chair Company.
Oh, Chair Company is amazing.
I will say, I've told everybody what I will say about it is,
it's not for everybody.
If you like Tim Robinson, you will like this show, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't like him before this show,
you
certainly will not like it after.
No, definitely not. That's a great way to put it.
That dude's sense of humor is very dialed in, and it's really on brand every time, to where if you like one of his things, you probably like most of his things.
But you could like Detroiters and not like anything else he does.
And that's true, because Detroiters is, to me, the least.
It's a sitcom. It's more of a traditional sitcom type of show.
It follows normal structure.
Yeah. And then he's like, all right, well, can I get away with this? And I think he should leave, let us know everything he could get away with. And people, it's like, now if you give me money, y'all seen what I'm going to do, right?
So if you give me more money, I'll just do more of it.
Just like friendship. That's a
100%.
You know, it was the awkwardness of, it's almost like, ever since he saw like Observe and Report, he wants to make something funnier and more cringe, more uncomfortable than Observe and Report, and he tries to one up it every time.
Because I'll say this, I watched recently also because of the HBO thing. I watched Friendship.
Mm-hmm.
That's fairly uncomfortable,
Yeah.
Like for sure.
Yeah.
I think that made me more uncomfortable than the Chair Company.
Yeah, yeah. The Chair Company, it's more like, what are you putting your family through? Like, it's like, you've done this before?
What is happening?
Something similar? It's like, no. But he's extreme. He's got an extremely unique style of comedy. And if you are a Tim Robinson fan, Chair Company is definitely a show that you need to check out. But if you are not, and if you are a Tim Robinson fan from Detroit and you did not like, I think you should leave. It is not for you.
Like this.
It is not for you.
What about you? What you been watching?
Man, honestly, I just started rewatching a show that I believe I began like right before I moved in the new house. But, you know, with moving, packing, whatever, I just forgot about it, lost it, whatever. But Platonic on Apple TV.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne.
Okay.
Yeah, they play pretty much it seems like they're either college or high school friends that used to hang out and party together, like best friends. And, you know, they both kind of grown up. She went to law school and met her husband, and, you know, and now she's a stay-at-home mom while he works at the law firm. And Seth Rogen's character is a brewmaster. who's recently divorced. So she found out that he's recently divorced, so she reached out. But and then they start hanging out like they used to, but kind of being irresponsible.
Getting in trouble.
Getting into some shit.
Okay.
But it's just like, you got close friends like that to where it's like, maybe it is better when we're not hanging out and we
100%.
should just stay communicating on the phone, and through text and through this safe world called Facebook. Because when we get together, it's going down. It's like
things happen.
Hangover 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's pretty good. But I just apparently season 2 came out this year, and that's why I'm watching season 1 because I only watched the first 3 episodes. And season 2 was given a 100 rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, dang.
So the first season was like a 90 something, which is I'm a snob.
Hey,
but
nothing wrong with that.
No, but to me, I'll give everything the benefit of the doubt. And then I'll say I'll lean with the critics or lean with the people.
Right.
Usually with the people, with the comedies.
For sure.
Yeah, but that's a pretty good show. But here, before the year ends up, I could give you a little rundown of my top 10 shows of the year. And maybe share it with the world.
Nice.
All right. Well, all right. That's enough of the movies. And before we get out of here, we got to talk about Old Man Rivers.
Dude, I love it.
The class of 2000 graduate, just like us, Patrick.
They said the other day on the radio, the stat I heard that kind of blew my mind. He played in the NFL when Emmitt Smith was still in the NFL.
Yeah.
His Emmitt Smith's last season and Phillip Rivers' first season were the same.
Yeah, because remember the famous draft day trade where Phillip Rivers and Eli Manning get swapped for each other. Rivers, who was drafted by the Giants, ends up going to the Chargers. Eli ends up in New York, and Ben Roethlisberger falls all the way down to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I don't know. To me, even if you do a redraft, Roethlisberger 1, Rivers 2, Manning 3.
Yeah.
But the Super Bowls are going to get Manning in there, in the Hall of Fame. But in saying that, do you think that should put Rivers into the Hall of Fame as well? Just because if you watch football during that time, there's never been a regular season where Eli Manning was better than Phillip Rivers.
No, not at all. And if Phillip Rivers, more than anything, when I think of Phillip Rivers, I think of somebody who is steadily just you can rely on that dude.
And
that
the thing is Phillip
dude.
Rivers, it's like he had to battle Tom Brady. He had to battle Peyton Manning. He had to battle Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
You just stumble your way to the playoffs, and I don't want to say what Eli only went to the playoffs twice, and they just ran the table both times. Come on, bro.
And one of them was a wild card.
Because to me, if Eli Manning being in there, it's just
tough.
It's tough, but he did win those games, and he beat Tom Brady twice. You can't take that away from him.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, guess what, McNabb? If you had beat the Patriots in one of those Super Bowls, then you would have beat Tom Brady, and you'd be in the Hall of Fame. Guess what, Tony Romo? You never got that close. You a regular season champion.
It is.
You have made many a fantasy football champion, Tony Romo. More people have probably won fantasy championships with you than a lot of these other quarterbacks we're naming.
For sure.
But we talking about them real ships.
But it is wild to me that he's 44 years old.
44 years young.
And going to get out there and try to do it again.
So he's just like us.
Yeah.
Old knees. I can't, man, my knees
imagine?
hurt. My knees hurt me thinking about when the weather's changing. I got to go outside. And I don't know. I just paid a homie to go and take and go clean my gutters in my house because my knee swells up from going up and down the step ladder over and over again around the house. I can't do that. I ain't built for that. But shout out to Phillip Rivers. Shout out to the class of 2000 because how many of you guys went to your 25-year reunion 3 months ago?
Yeah.
And they're back in the NFL just a few before the end of the year.
I did see there was a prop bet on how many of his kids would be at the game because he's got a slew of them. Yeah, and I would honestly, I would have thought that Phillip Rivers would have a kid in the NFL by this point before he would be making a comeback. He definitely has kids in college.
Yeah. I guess they didn't get that 6'4" height. Oh, well.
He did. I will say this too. He looked a little doughy.
I didn't want to say it.
I don't.
Because I'm 44.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, I'm a big fat guy. I get it. But it's one of those things that I'm also not trying to walk out onto an NFL field and throw a football.
Hey, you know what? He's out there coaching them high school kids.
For sure.
Maybe he's got more cushion to take the impact. Maybe that's what it's for.
Maybe he hits the weights, Who knows?
Yeah. Well, shout out to Phillip Rivers. Shout out to everybody from the class of 2000.
Yeah.
You know, I'm pretty sure he's the only one still playing professional sports, but
Almost certainly.
Yeah, I think LeBron is the closest. I think he's an 02 guy. So Phillip Rivers, you got LeBron beat right now. So congratulations, Rivers. And that's a show. It's been a show, Patrick.
Yeah,
it's been a show. A little bit more than an hour and a half, but thanks for joining me, Patrick.
Yeah, man, I enjoyed it.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. I know it's been a long time. Just been busy with life, work, stuff, things. Stuff and things. You know, we all got that. But yeah, hopefully we'll be back next week. Patrick, same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah, dog.
Maybe. All right. Well, this has been Jordan Amati, and this is the Dallas Bias Club. We out. Stay fresh, cheese bags. Sorry, no.